But the point of this video is there's a lot of fraudulent stances within the Xbox community, primarily from the fanboys and influencers. They are pretending to be something they are not. They are out there advocating for the gamers, which is a lie. You are not advocating for the gamers. You are advocating for Xbox gamers and for your own self-interest as an Xbox gamer and for the interests of Microsoft, which is the company you prefer.
Oh, what I'm gonna do to you.
You unlock this door with a simple registration. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of memes. A dimension of trolls. A dimension of morons. You are moving into a dimension of both factual and unfactual information, of rumors and hopes. You just crossed over into YouTube Fanboy Zone.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, and Portal Rock 77 has made a video whining about Xbox gamers and basically ass kissing and defending and deflecting about the CMA deal regarding the ABK deal. And I couldn't resist but reply. I couldn't resist but do this video. He's pulled me away from gaming, damn him. Bitch. I was happily playing Conan and Vampire Survivors, which is an amazing, great, fun game. Actually, I'm quite enjoying it. It's very addictive. You can just jump in it, have a few rounds of it, jump out of it. There's no harm done there. So, up yours, PlayStation fanboys. Stop your whining. Yes, so he's pulled me away from gaming. Sorry about my the volume today, the voice, whatever, the mic today. Yeah, I'm sort of doing this from a hotel room while I'm on my travels. Because I've been working heavily. But let's get into the video. So, this knob jockey, this knob jockey that wish he could ride Jim Ryan like Seabiscuit has been just, oh my god, this guy cannot shill hard enough. I think if Sonny had a dick, he would suck it harder than King Fresh admittedly would.
Fanboy suck a whole lot of dick. I mean, well, I do too, but
Thank you, Mr. Fresh. Your loyalty will be rewarded in the next life. It won't really, there isn't a next life. Joke's on him. But anyway, I've only got time for one shill in this video, and it's for Portal Rock 77.
So once again, the Xbox influencers and fanboys are completely showing how dishonest they are. Another topic of the Activision Blizzard deal, something came up and it's truly exposing themselves. But before I get into that, let me just preface everything with this, all right? If the conversation is about worrying about gamers versus corporations, there's fine lines between that, right? Let me explain my stance in this. And my stance has always been about this in gaming, right? If you want to play a particular game, it's only available on a particular platform, then you just as a gamer got to get that platform. It is what it is. Even though that, how would you say, stance that I'm saying is more beneficial to the corporate, I go beyond all that, because at the end of the day, as long as you're enjoying the game that you like, doesn't really matter what the corporate benefits from that decision or how they financially benefit from that decision. At the end of the day, is you playing the game, right? But I can understand gamers who prefer a platform, and anything that corporation can do to make that platform better, whether it's improvements in quality of life, or the first party games that they make, or even the third party deals that they grab, whether it's exclusive, outright exclusive, time exclusive content. I get all that. Gamers on that particular platform enjoy that benefit, while the gamers outside of that platform don't, or they could just completely get, asked out into the conversation, right? I totally understand that. I totally understand that a particular platform that does something more to a platform that you already chose as your primary gaming platform, I understand that every decision that company makes is a beneficial decision to you and not so much to everyone outside that. I completely understand that, and I'm not even against that, right?
There we go. Done. Video over. The end. No more to be said. You totally agree that it's okay for Sony and anyone to have exclusive games, exclusive content, timed content, third-party deals, anything's off the record, everything's okay, you're fine with everything. There is no issues. There's no reason really to carry on your video, is there? PorterRock77. Just end it there. Just stop. You agree with Xbox gamers. You agree with the ABK deal. You agree with it. There's no complaints.
But the point of this video is there's a lot of fraudulent stances within the Xbox community, primarily from the fanboys and influencers. They are pretending to be something they are not. They are out there advocating for the gamers, which is a lie. You are not advocating for the gamers. You are advocating for Xbox gamers and for your own self-interest as an Xbox gamer and for the interests of Microsoft, which is the company you prefer. That's it. Do not pretend you're worrying about gaming in general or gamers in general.
But wait, you advocate for exclusives. You want exclusives. I.e., you advocate for yourself. You advocate for the platform that those games are on. You advocate for the corporation. You advocate for the company. You are literally advocating to Sony because you want it to have exclusives. You don't mind you want exclusive content. That then means you're advocating for that company. You just care about yourself. You don't care about other gamers. You're not caring about gamers because you just want games on that one platform. If you truly cared for gaming, if you truly cared for gamers, you wouldn't want exclusives. I don't want exclusives. Games should be anywhere. Gamers should be able to play games anywhere they like, anywhere they please. They should be anywhere. Freedom to games. But you want exclusivity. You want corporations to control certain games, to have hold of certain games. You are advocating for these companies and thinking about yourself. In fact, you're such a Sony fanboy that when you said you wanted Bethesda games, you was happy with Xbox getting that deal and stuff like that, and that's the only thing you think will hurt you because you can't play them on PlayStation. But as such a Sony fanboy is that instead of admitting to like buying an Xbox and playing those games, you won't. You're going to buy a PC instead of buying a £500, $500 whatever console. Or even a $250 console, you can get the Xbox Series S and play Starfield and play the next Skyrim, whatever, Elder Scrolls. You're gonna fork out, throw a load of money at a PC just to play those games, just to spite Xbox, just so, like, because you feel like you advocate for Sony so much, you can't spend money on Xbox. You cannot buy a console. You cannot put money down on console on an Xbox. You'd rather throw more money at PC just to play Xbox games.
It is what it is. In fact, I will say this. There is one acquisition that Microsoft did that actually did personally affect me. That was the acquisition of Bethesda. I am one of the PlayStation gamers that did not bash. That's now all of a sudden bashing Elder Scrolls or Fallout. I still love those games. I will play those games day one. Guess what? It's going to be on a different platform. It will no longer be on the PlayStation platform. That's perfectly fine. Eventually, I'm going to get a PC anyway. You know, that's going to be my secondary platform. I will have no problem playing Elder Scrolls and playing Fallout on PC. And I'm going to check out Starfield on PC. I have no issues. I don't really care.
Well, you do have issues. You're clearly bitter that it's on Xbox and not PlayStation because you're willing to throw more money at buying a PC than to simply buy an Xbox and play it. So you're clearly bitter. And it's only going to affect you in the long run because you're going to be paying more to play the same game that I'll be playing on Game Pass. So it's just ridiculous, isn't it, really? You're being ridiculous. Let's continue listening to your rant.
Recently, Twitter user by the name of Ricardo Cardoso. I'm looking at his profile now on Twitter. It's R Cardoso EU. His profile says he's a deputy head of unit interinstitutional and outreach views. Wait, views are mine. I guess he works for some company, right? He made a comment, but he did ensure that his comment that he made, and I'm going to read it to you, says, to clarify, I am not involved in the assessment of the merger and don't even work in that department dealing with mergers. As is clear from my profile, my comments are personal and not a commission position whose decision will be taken on the basis of the facts and the law. So, why did he say that? Well, he made a tweet that got 118 retweets, 623 quote tweets. So you know when you quote tweet that much, boy, and 724 likes. And he said, the commission is working to ensure that you will still be able to play Call of Duty on other consoles. And he puts in parentheses, including my PlayStation.
Stop right there. You've caught yourself in a contradiction again. You've literally ranted on about Xbox gamers and Xbox influencers thinking about themselves, but now you've highlighted this guy said my PlayStation. He's clearly just thinking about himself. He's clearly thinking about his platform of choice. He's doing exactly the same thing that you're accusing Xbox gamers of doing. But you're saying he's neutral. You're saying it's unfair that the Xbox gamers are going at him. What's your stance here?
So in this case, it's Microsoft and Sony, right? Microsoft with Xbox, Sony with PlayStation. So that's the corporate side. If the topic and you guys who are advertising is all about the gamers...
Stop right there, hold it. Sony advertise there for the players, yet they lock games behind exclusivities and the content behind exclusivity, which sort of limits players. They also raise the price of the console, which affects players. They raise the price of their games, which affects players. They charge for cross-gen, they charge for updates, they charge for pretty much everything, which all affects players. So before you get on the stance that, oh, Microsoft's for the gamers, well, Sony says exactly the same, but does the exact opposite from what they're preaching.
What is the greatest impact any of these moves can have in a negative sense? Well, the greatest negative impact is not being able to play the games on the platform the gamer chose to play on. So if a gamer's been playing this game for a long time, generation after generation on this platform, and now all of a sudden they can't play it no more, that is a great impact to the gamer. Now again, you guys are advertising that you're looking out gamer interest. All right, let's find out. If the acquisition is approved, how does this negatively impact, and we're going to break down each gamers that chose to play on their platform. We'll start with PC. How does this greatly negatively impact PC gamers? And the answer, it doesn't. All right. How does this greatly negatively impact Xbox gamers? It doesn't. Because it's Microsoft who's buying it, and Microsoft is a platform owner, holder of Xbox. How can this negatively impact PlayStation gamers? PlayStation gamers could lose out on playing Call of Duty, thus no longer being able to play the game on the platform they chose as gamers to play. Now they have to look at another ecosystem to play the game on. To which I said in the beginning, I'm fine, that's normal, whatever. But if you advertising for the gamers, because I'm not advertising, I'm for the whole gamers. As far as I could say, it's just, hey, buy the game where you want. I mean, buy the game where you need to, go to the platform where you need to play the game on, and that's always been that way. But you guys are the ones, you Xbox influencers are the ones with the gamers. So you have a whole community of gamers to which the majority of Call of Duty gamers is on PlayStation. So they choose to play there. They will be greatly negatively impacted by this acquisition.
See, the whole gripe really is about Xbox advertising it for the gamers and PlayStation fans being impacted that if the game goes exclusive. By the way, let's just highlight that once again, Xbox offered Sony a 10-year deal, which I guess they've declined. They've offered the game for 10 years, which they declined, because really they don't really care about the exclusivity of it. They just don't want Call of Duty on Game Pass. Let's be honest, they just don't want it on Game Pass, because they know that will directly compete with them selling it for $70. They also don't want to lose exclusive content because they make so much money from it. So that's really from the corporate side of things. Sony just want to be greedy. They just want it all. Even if Xbox own the IP, own the studios and that, Sony still wants to keep 100% of the profit, and Xbox lose that, which is ridiculous, really. It's the whole thing, narrative of that is absolute greed-driven, ridiculous stupidness. And the fact that you get PlayStation fanboys defending that is absolute pure shilling to the sort of next level shilling. But just to elaborate on what Paul Rock's saying here, is that his gripe is that Xbox says they're for the gamers and it's going to impact PlayStation gamers, so they're not for the gamers, so they're in a way lying. Well, once again, Sony advertises for the players, yet they limit players from playing their games by making them exclusive. They limit players. I can play, I don't know, Hogwarts Legacy, I can play on Xbox, but I can't play all the content because Sony limits what I can play because they've bought exclusive content for that multi-plat game that's on Xbox. But they advertise themselves as being for the players. I'm a player, it's not for me, you're not doing me any favours. Callisto Protocol, another game. Avengers game where they had the Spider-Man exclusivity, another game. These are games that are on Xbox, but I'm missing out on content. Call of Duty, perfect. I'm missing out on content. I'm a player, but I can't play that content because Sony keeps from me. So where's your rage on them? I just don't get. You can see now why you're contradicting yourself, Paul Rock. You can see why now you've shown up in my video. You can see now where I'm highlighting your stupidity and your sort of biasness, and you just thinking about yourself and you just thinking about PlayStation and their profits and their pockets. Because, you know, at the end of the day, they're for the players, but they've raised the price of your consoles, man. 2 years into the generation, they've raised the price of your consoles. How's that for the players? You're capping for paying more for games. You're capping for them charging for cross-gentiles. When they go, if you've got a PlayStation 4 game and you want to play the PlayStation 5 game, you have to pay £10 to upgrade it. And you're capping for that. You're allowing them. They're not for the players. I don't get why your rage is continuously at Xbox and you're trying to call out their sort of interpretation of things when Sony just doing it under your nose and you make videos continuously defending his actions. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, man. I don't get why PlayStation fans continuously sort of do this. Why they're so blind to things. I'll tell you what. The reason why. I mean, I don't really care. The reason why I play on Xbox more is because I dislike Sony's practices, the way they just openly, blatantly lie about stuff like that. Raise the price of consoles and games, and they're just practice. 2, I don't like their games. The games I don't like story-driven, because all they seem to make story-driven games are boring. 3, the console's a horrible mess. It was weaker than the Xbox Series X anyway, but it looks a horrible just pile of shit. They keep revamping the console. We're in a 4th or 5th revamp of the console now. It just do so many disingenuous things, and then they do stuff like this, and you can't. And then the fan base is a horrible sort of amalgamation of stupid, toxic, and just a pile of shit. Really, I mean, at the end of the day, in 2020, they told you all to buy a PlayStation 5 so you could play God of War, GT7, and Horizon Forbidden West in 2021. None of them released in 2021. And none of them are exclusive to PlayStation 5. It's just shit like that they do. It's continuous, just bollocks, and just misleading their players. They're not for the players at all. And this is why I can't understand your stance on this. If you sort of, I just can't get it. I just don't see a point. And your point you're making goes over a lot of people's heads because it's stupid.
Now let's look at what happens if the deal doesn't go through. If this gets disapproved, how does this greatly impact PC gamers? And the answer is, it doesn't. PC gamers still get the game because Activision supports PC. How does this greatly impact Xbox gamers? The answer is, it doesn't, because Activision supports Xbox. And how does this greatly negatively impact PlayStation? The answer is, it doesn't. Activision supports PlayStation. So if the acquisition fails, nothing happens. It's status quo. Everybody plays Call of Duty. Every gamer plays Call of Duty.
It's status quo. Everyone gets to play Call of Duty. They've already highlighted that they're putting Call of Duty on PlayStation. This is such a mute argument. I can't wrap my head around it. But he says, it's status quo. Everyone gets to play Call of Duty. Yet Sony still gets to keep the exclusive content. The exclusive content will still be on PlayStation. So they're still affecting the players. Or are they going to release that? Are they going to let everyone play it? When Wolverine comes out, can I play it on my Xbox? Are they for the players? Well, I get to play it. What happens when the Bungie deal goes through? And it has gone through, isn't it? So will there be exclusive content on Xbox, on PC, or will it only be on PlayStation? You know the answer to that already, don't you? You know the answer to that already. You know the answer to any studio, anything Sony buys. What they do with it, make it exclusive. Minus the game, minus Destiny, because Bungie actually said no, we want to keep it multiplayer. But any exclusive content will go to Sony. Does that impact Xbox PC gamers? Yes.
The reality is, from the gamer's perspective, if the Activision Blizzard deal goes through, there's going to be a large group of gamers that will be potentially could be negatively impacted by the decision. If the deal doesn't go through, no one's impacted. Now, of course, I already see the crying in the comments section. I already see what you guys are typing. But Game Pass. The key term is greatly negative impact. The fact that the game is not day and day on Game Pass is not a huge impact. It just means you just have to buy the game, which is status quo. In fact, majority of the games released in the gaming industry are games you have to buy. They are not available on a subscription service. Okay? You still get access to Call of Duty, and you still get to play it on the platform that you want. And if you don't want to pay $70 because it's too expensive, you could just wait, and you'll be able to play it at a cheaper price. You could probably even get a used copy. You see? So the fact that it's not on Game Pass day one is not a great impact. Right now, Game Pass only has 25 million subscribers anyway, and that's across PC, which has 150, 200 million, gamers. Xbox has 50 million gamers, and you only got 25 million subscribers. That's not a lot. That's not a lot at all, right? So it's not, especially compared, to PlayStation gamers.
He says the majority of the games released in the gaming industry are games you have to buy. So, say the one effect game. These PlayStation fans don't understand that games that are on Game Pass can also be bought. They think games that release in Game Pass are restricted to Game Pass. You can only play them via Game Pass. The fact that you can still buy the games goes completely over their head. They cannot comprehend that simple fact. They're under the impression that if it goes to Game Pass, you can't buy the game. That's it. You can't buy the game. They are literally morons. I don't know if they choosing to just ignore the fact that you still buy the games, or if they really just can't grasp it. They can't grasp that you can still buy the games, which people do. People play the games on Game Pass and they buy the games. The thing is, Game Pass is an option. It's an option, so you don't have to buy it. So you can just play it through a game service, or you can try it. If you like it, then you buy it. Then you play it or buy it. It's an option. That's what Game Pass is. It's simply an option. Then he doubles down and said if it's not on Game Pass day one, it's not a huge impact on anyone. Yes, it's an impact on the people that don't want to pay £70 for a game. It's an impact on those people that don't have much money or just prefer to play through a sub-service, like myself, and don't want to pay £70 for games that they're not even sure about. I mean, Call of Duty has been horrible for a long time, and you'd rather play it and try it out first. It's impacting on those players. It's impacting on gamers if it's not on Game Pass day one. This is why they paid into the subscription service in the first place. If it's not in a subscription service, it's owned by Xbox, then it's impacting those people with a subscription service. You're just thinking one-dimensional because you're just thinking about PlayStation. That's what you're thinking about, PlayStation fans. You're not thinking about the games at all. And then you double down to say about, it's only got 25 million subs. It's not a great deal. It's not going to make that many, yada yada. And then you combine it with PC sales. I'll tell you what, so you support cross-gen, do you? Because if games stop being cross-gen and only on PlayStation 5, does that mean then PlayStation don't care about their PlayStation 4 owners, PlayStation 4 fans, and they're cutting all them out? Is that because that's sort of what you're saying. When you're saying about how Xbox will be cutting out the PlayStation fans by not putting Call of Duty on PlayStation, likewise can be said for Sony cutting out PlayStation 4 fans by putting their games only on PlayStation 5. So by your own logic, all games going forward should be cross-gen on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And then when the next games comes out, they should be on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6. So it doesn't affect any gamers. So no one misses out by your logic. That's what you're trying to sort of say there. No one should be missing out on games. Actually, let's double down on this. Sony blocked PlayStation 4 players from playing PlayStation 4 games on PlayStation 5 by not having BC on it, by limiting what games you can play on the PlayStation 5. So you still have to keep those consoles, or you have to buy new games or remasters and remakes because they don't allow you to play old games on it. So what about all those players, all those people that own those consoles? All those people, why can't they play their games on the new console? Where's the rage there? Is Sony cutting out on players? Sony just not allowing people to play games in other places where they want to play, yada yada yada? Continue to highlight your stupidity. You say 25 million is not. 25 million Game Pass subscriptions isn't much. It's not a lot at all. How many PlayStation 5s are sold? 25 million. So, those games only being on that console, that's not much. That's not much at all. So what they should do is open their games up to Xbox and PC so more people can play those games, right? Because 25 million is not enough. It's not enough. In fact, Jim said 25 million is not enough. In fact, when these games release and they're on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, how many copies are they selling? Is it 25 million plus? They're not. They're selling 10, struggling to sell 20 million. Maybe if they're remastered, remade several times, and they might reach things like 25 million like Last of Us 1. But as you said, 25 million is not enough. It's not much. when you're considering two platforms, as you just combine the PC sales, the Xbox sales, to say about 200 million. If you combine PS4 and PS5 consoles, that's about 200 million. So selling 25 million isn't enough, is it? So maybe they should put their games on PC day and date, shouldn't they? Well, at the end of the day, if you're going to cap, you're going to cap. But please come out with something that something that makes sense, something that doesn't highlight you as an idiot, something that doesn't sound stupid, and just come up with some reasonable, balanced argument. Because this argument just really sounds like you're just trying to save Sony's bottom line. Really, their money. You're only really caring for Sony. They're their players, and that's it. That's all. Your whole point is just a bunch of nonsense that you've not really thought that well into. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching. Please sub and share. Look out for my podcast every Friday UK time, or I'm not sure the times, to be honest. I'm not sure the times. Is this Friday evening? Don't know what it is in the States. It's probably around about 5-6 PM in the States, and New Zealand and Australia it's around about 8 AM Saturday mornings. So please look out for the podcast, the Gamers Initiative podcast, with myself, Red Dead Panda, and Ashtray Gaming, and our special guest. But thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more, and goodbye for now.